What's up, guys? My name is Dave with Amari Productions, and today we are answering the biggest question: why video? Why should you hire a videographer for your wedding? And before we jump in to my 4 reasons why you absolutely must get a videographer, let's start with a simple exercise. Do you have really old family photos? You probably do, right? You've got them hanging on the wall or in frames on some tables or in an old album. You've got old family photos of when you were a kid, maybe even when your parents were kids or grandparents, when your grandparents got married or something like that. Those photos are impactful, right? They're really meaningful. It's really, you feel something deep when you see them. Do you have any old family videos? When you were a kid, when your parents were kids, when your grandparents got married, when your grandparents took your parents on vacation. Have you ever watched those? Old photos, they're a snapshot. They'll cue a memory if you have one, or they'll give you an idea, a picture, of what that time was like, what it looked like, what people looked like back then. Videos will take you there, will show you. Very personally, for me, I have photos hanging up in my hallway of my kids the day they were born. I've got a 3.5-year-old and a 1-year-old, so not even that old. I have big old prints, professional photos of hours after they were born. And I love them. I love that I see them every time I walk down the hall of our house. They touch me every single time. We cut a video for my daughter on her first birthday of her first year of life.
Little girl.
Every single time I watch that video, I start crying. Every single time. That's the difference. That is the value added of video over photo. It takes nothing away from photo. I love those photos. I love every photo I have from my wedding. Every photo I have of my kids, of my childhood. The videos add something much more. How's that for an intro to a video? All right, let's play the intro music. As we talked about at the top, I'm going to give you my 4 reasons why you must have a videographer present at your wedding. And we'll start off with reason number 1, which we talked about in the introduction, and that's still versus moving. Now let's talk about how this applies to your actual wedding day. And the perfect example is your processional. Your photographer is going to do a great job snapping photos of everybody coming down the aisle. They're going to get great snaps of your They're gonna get great photos of your groom as he waits for you, as he sees you. They're gonna get great photos of you as you move down the aisle. They're gonna show those moments, those snapshots. What your video is gonna show is your groom bouncing on the balls of his feet, shifting back and forth anxiously, just waiting, can't wait to see you. Your video is going to show how he, as the guests stand for you to walk in, how your groom is trying to see around them and see over them. And your video is going to show, from both your perspective and your groom's perspective, the exact moment you turn that corner and he sees you. That exact moment on his face in real time. That's the difference. Now the other thing I want to do between each of these points is give you some very real-world examples from actual brides. And the first one I'm going to talk to you about is Ben and Jenna. Ben and Jenna got married in 2013. So it's been a little while now. They have twins. They have twin boys who I think they're about my daughter's age, so I think they're probably 4. I got this last year, 2019, on their 6-year anniversary. This was I'll put this up on the screen. This was a DM from Jenna. It said, "Today we celebrate 6 years of marriage. We watched our wedding video with our sons and we were left speechless. Jake and Luke were a hope, wish, and prayer on our wedding day. Something we wanted someday but can never have fully imagined the joy they would bring us and how complete they would make our family. As we were watching, Luke kept shouting, 'That's my mama and daddy.' And Jake screamed, 'Our whole family.' I love that we can share this with them. I love that every year we get to reflect on how far we've grown since those two kids made a promise to each other. I love that you guys make these videos possible for couples. Luke and Jake watching their mom and dad get married. Reason number 2, why not? Why are we even having this question in the first place? This is actually kind of interesting. Up until about 10 years ago, videography looked very, very different. It was very clunky. It was very low production value, and what you were delivered was hours and hours and hours of footage, and that was it. And so it was much less something to relive the day and really be taken back to the emotions of the day, and it was more of a historical record that you would put in a closet and then pull out when your kids, this actually happened, we're at my in-laws and they pulled out their wedding video and they were like, this is the first time we've watched this in 20 years. And yeah, it was like 8 hours long. And so up until relatively recently, people were kind of on the fence on a video because it was like, am I ever gonna watch it? I'm just gonna put it in the closet and it's just gonna sit there and accumulate dust. And so I don't know, I'll save that money and get a better photographer, go on a better honeymoon. But guys, that's not what wedding videography is anymore. And more people are recognizing this. This is becoming less and less of a thing, but now it seems like the holdover of people choosing not to have video is because they know other people that didn't have video or their parents didn't have video. And not really because they sat down and watched videos and really thought through the process of what it means to have a video. Not that they've done that with photo either, but with photo it's just, everybody has a photographer. We gotta get a photographer, get a photographer. You may understand, don't get me wrong, you may understand exactly why you want a photographer, but you may not. You may just be like, yeah, duh, everyone gets a photographer. And it's not until after your wedding when you get the photos, you're like, yeah, this is why I got a photographer. That assumption is not made with the video yet. It's getting there, but it's not there yet. And so recognize that. Recognize that the main reason why this is even a question in the first place has nothing to do with the present day modern wedding videography, the quality, the product, and its value. And it has everything to do with something that doesn't even exist anymore. Also, think through this. If that's the trend over the last 10 years, 10 years from now, video is going to be ubiquitous at every wedding. I mean, look at it already. YouTube is fast becoming the number 2 search engine on the internet, behind Google itself. Social media is moving more and more towards video, away from photo, as our technology becomes more and more able to capture and show video online and on mobile. 10 years from now, everybody's gonna have a videographer at their wedding. This is gonna be that transition period where a lot of people have it, but some people hadn't made that transition yet. Some people hadn't made the jump to having a videographer at their wedding. Don't be one of those last people to not have a video at their wedding before they became just as ubiquitous as photo. Okay, the next testimonial I want to give you is from a couple named Ashley and Kelsey, who we did both the photo and the video for, and it was a same-day edit. I'm gonna put that review up on the screen here and we'll just read some snippets of it. We've already said a million times that we're so happy we chose Amari, and I know we'll say it a million more. Everyone that we interacted with throughout this entire process was amazing. We were also considering a same-day edit, and after hearing more about it, we knew we couldn't do without one. Best decision ever. It was such a special thing to watch with our guests during the wedding. Everyone keeps saying how amazing it is that Amari was able to put together such a beautiful, flawless video in such a short amount of time. And I can't tell you how many times Ashley and I have watched it since. When we met our team on the day of our wedding, we felt so comfortable with them right away. Our wedding party even said they felt like the crew was a part of our friends and family. The photographers and videographers made Ashley and I feel so at ease. We're definitely not attention grabbers, so we were nervous at first, but we felt comfortable enough to just let that melt away and be in the moment together. I also want to add that seeking out gay-friendly wedding vendors was important to us, and they made us feel so celebrated. To Amari, thank you for giving us the photos and videos that will help make our wedding day last forever. Ashley and Kelsey are actually on our YouTube. Their same-day edit is here. And we got their reaction. We filmed it. We filmed the reaction of them, and you can hear the crowd. It's really cool. You should watch it. Reason number 3, it's a timeless keepsake. We kind of touched on this earlier, but let's really talk about this for a second and think about it for a second. 5 years from now, nobody is gonna remember if they had steak at your wedding or if they had a taco cart. For a dessert bar, this is something that an actual vendor friend of mine did at her own wedding. Her and her husband love kid cereals. That's just one of their things. And so instead of paying a lot of money for a big dessert bar, they had a milk and cereal bar. Of course, they made it look really pretty, they had really cool decor, but they had all their favorite kids cereals and then a bunch of different milks and milk alternatives and had a cereal bar. And guess what? Not only did that save them a ton of money on something that people wouldn't have even remembered, now people are gonna remember it because it was so, I'm talking about it. I wasn't even at her wedding and she's been married for like 10 years and I'm talking about it right now. If she had a generic dessert bar, I would not be telling you about it. So as you're reviewing your budget, maybe you're at the point right now where you're saying, yeah, I see the value of video. I don't think I can make it work in my budget. Let's look over your budget again. What is currently in your budget that's gonna be really cool on the day of, but nobody's gonna remember it 5 years from now. Nobody's gonna remember it 10 years from now. Let's look at that stuff one more time and see what we can find to make sure that we get you a video at your wedding. The next testimonial comes from Brittany and Cameron. This is also an Instagram DM. She DM'd me right after I had posted a clip from her wedding. I'm so grateful that you guys caught that moment. My memory of it is so special, but every day it becomes a little more distant and being able to see it again is just priceless. Guys, I posted this like 3 weeks after her wedding. This wasn't 10 years ago. And I can tell you that from my own wedding, that this is true. Those memories, they start to fade a lot quicker than you want them to. It takes us back to that exact moment, the happiest we've ever been in our entire lives. I just can't even put into words how much these videos mean to us. Guys, get a video. Reason number 4, audio. This one's kind of obvious, but your photo does not have audio. But let's talk about this for a second and then actually think about it. Your vows, the message at your ceremony, your toasts. You want a record of those. You want to be able to hear those vows again 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You want to be able to watch that toast again. Just trust me, you want to be able to watch it again. Even different things throughout the day like your prep or cocktail hour. Being able to pull up the raw footage and listen back to what you guys were chatting about, what music was playing, what was popular back when you got married. The audio from your wedding is so important. And for our last testimonial, it's not a testimony at all. I had a lot of these examples, but I don't want to be like throwing fear at you guys. So I'm not going to give you these like real examples of people that didn't get video. But I will tell you one thing that I know I felt at my own wedding and that I see time and time again that people talk about, both that got video and that wish they had gotten video. Your wedding day flies by. It's over in seconds. I have this memory of getting to the venue. I was holding our marriage certificate and I needed to find our pastor to hand it to him. And I got to the venue and it was maybe 30 minutes before the ceremony, 15 minutes before the ceremony was supposed to start, and seeing all of my family and friends from school, from work, from my church, from Arizona, from Utah, Mariah's family, her extended family and friends from Washington. It was so surreal to see everybody that meant something to me from every facet of my life in one place. That moment is like burned into my memory. It was so cool. And then it literally feels like 10 seconds later, we were at In-N-Out after our wedding, in our wedding dress and wedding suit, getting late night In-N-Out. We did that. I'm not even kidding you. The attendant at the window asked us if we had just come from formal, like the high school dance. It was very flattering. The day flies by in seconds. Do everything you can to get those memories recorded. So we've established that video is a necessity, but now we need to talk about budgets. What do you budget for? What does it look like to spend $2,000 on video versus $10,000 on video? That's next time, guys. So please do me a favor, help us out, hit that like button. Make sure that other couples can see this, can see what video means and why they need it at their wedding. And share this with anybody that you know that is engaged. please click the subscribe button so you know every time that we post, and throughout this wedding planning process, we can bring you some more educational content, but also just some genuine entertainment related to wedding. And then let me know in the comments below. Let me know your story. Let me know where you guys are at in your planning process, and if video is something you're definitely doing or considering or are not doing. I would love to chat, love to connect. Until next time, my name is Dave with Amari Productions, and I'll see, I was gonna say I'll see you next time, but I said until next time. I don't know how to end that sentence when I lead it off with, okay, bye.